Have you ever wondered why some people navigate stressful situations with an almost unfair level of ease while others crumble under the exact same pressure? The hard truth is that the difference between a devastating failure and a strategic victory often has nothing to do with the facts themselves. Many people think that the world is a series of objective events that we must simply react to as they happen. We are taught to follow the rules, wait our turn, and accept the outcomes that life hands us without question. But what if the reality you experience is actually a choice that you make every single moment? There is a psychological superpower called the reframing mindset that allows you to tilt the playing field in your favor by changing your perspective. This is not about positive thinking or pretending that everything is perfect when it is clearly not. It is about becoming a strategic operator who understands how to find the hidden levers that move people and systems. Today we will explore how you can flip the script on any situation to turn a disadvantage into your greatest asset. Imagine you are standing in front of an automated teller machine at midnight and the machine suddenly swallows your bank card for no reason. You call the emergency hotline only to be told that you must wait 14 working days for a new card to arrive by mail. To the bank employee, you are just another service ticket that needs to be processed according to a standard procedure. In this moment, your problem is yours alone and the bank has no incentive to move faster for your convenience. But imagine if you called that same hotline and told them that the machine was currently spewing out $100 notes to everyone on the street. Suddenly, the bank would have a technician at that location within 10 minutes because the problem has shifted from your inconvenience to their financial loss. This is incentive alignment, where you stop reporting your pain and start reporting their risk if you want to see immediate action. When you align your desired outcome with the self-interest of the other party, the world starts moving at a much faster pace. The traditional way of solving problems is to follow the official rules and wait for the system to eventually acknowledge your request. Method 2 is about lateral entry, which involves finding an out-of-the-box solution to bypass a rigid and slow process. For example, imagine you are trying to buy a specific high-demand product that is listed as out of stock at every major retail store. Instead of joining a digital waiting list or checking the big websites every hour, you could call the manufacturer's local distributor directly. These distributors often know exactly which smaller independent shops they just delivered to, even if those shops have no online presence. By going straight to the source of the supply chain, you can find the item sitting on a shelf while everyone else is still refreshing their screens. This method is about understanding that the official process is often just a hurdle for those who lack the initiative to solve their own problems. By choosing a creative alternative over a traditional protocol, you stop being a victim of the rules and start becoming a master of the mission. Method 3 is a strategy I learned during my army days known as by right cannot, by left can. This mindset acknowledges that while formal regulations might strictly forbid an action, you can still proceed if the act is legal and ethical as long as you do not get caught. This is the art of operating in the shadows to maintain your own morale and momentum without causing friction for the system. For example, a soldier might bring comfort food or candy to a field camp even though it is technically not allowed. As long as that food is consumed secretly and leaves no trace or leftovers that could reveal the platoon's position, it is a win for everyone. The soldier feels better and remains motivated while the commanders still see a disciplined unit that follows every tactical protocol. You are not being rebellious or harmful, but you are choosing to manage your own well-being in a way that remains invisible to the bureaucracy. This method is about finding the gray zones where you can operate quietly to achieve a higher level of performance and mental resilience. There is an ancient Chinese proverb that tells us it is much easier to see the king of hell than to deal with his little devils. The little devils are the lower-level gatekeepers who are trained to say no because they are afraid of breaking any company policies. These people often have the least amount of power to be flexible because their jobs depend on following the rules exactly as written. When you hit a wall with a gatekeeper, the reframing mindset tells you to stop fighting them and start looking for the king of hell. Method 4 is about authority bypass, which means you move up the chain of command to find a person who has the power to be flexible. Managers and directors are not measured by how well they follow rules but by how effectively they solve problems. They would much rather grant you a one-time exception in 5 minutes than deal with a persistent request for a week. Stop fighting gatekeepers who have no power and start communicating with decision-makers who can actually flip the script for you. Sometimes a private dispute feels like a dead end because the company knows that your individual voice is very small and quiet. Method 5 is the strategy of social leverage, which involves moving a private problem into the public eye to force a resolution. A large corporation can easily ignore one unhappy customer email, but they cannot ignore 10,000 potential customers watching a public failure. This is not about being rude but about creating professional public accountability for a brand. When you tag a company in a factual post on a public platform, you are hitting their most valuable asset, which is their reputation. They will often resolve your problem in minutes to save face in front of their audience and prevent a public relations crisis. By involving the public, you change the cost of ignoring you from zero to a very high number that they cannot afford. There are times in life when the physical outcome of a situation cannot be changed no matter how hard you try to fight it. Method 6 is narrative ownership, which is the most powerful internal tool for managing your own energy and mental health. This is inspired by the philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches how to remain calm by focusing only on what we can control. When you cannot change the facts of what happened, you must realize that the only thing that matters is the story you tell. For instance, if your girlfriend of 5 years leaves you for a wealthy individual, you could choose to see yourself as a victim who lost everything to a rich man, or you could realize you had a rich man's wife as your girlfriend for 5 years. The facts are the same, but the second story gives you the strength to move forward while the first one keeps you trapped. If these reframing strategies help to improve your life, please like and subscribe to help other viewers find this video too. The reframing mindset is the difference between being a player who follows rules and an operator who understands the game. By moving through these 6 methods, you have learned how to manage the external world and your own internal peace. These tools are designed to make you more effective and more efficient in every area of your life. Remember that you do not have to accept the first script that life hands you when you can write your own. The world is full of hidden levers that are just waiting for you to find them. If you start practicing these reframes today, the situations that used to stop you will now move you forward. Now use these methods wisely and you will find that there is no situation you cannot master with the right perspective. Thank you for watching.